Hi, today I want to introduce you to my audience, my daughters Candace and her son Joshua. And today I want to talk to you about safe sex. In today's world, adult people, young adult people, teenagers are having unsafe sex. Unsafe sex is with many different partners, whether now or for the past, causing disease that are hard to cure or not able to cure. Name a few is HIV or AIDS, STD, and herpes. These are the number ones that has hit the United States for many years now. These diseases have hit the teenagers more than any other group and number is rising. Nevertheless, there is protection that can help protect most everyone from catching these diseases. By using condoms help prevent the other partner from being infected with disease or illness. Let's look at what types of disease can come from unsafe sex. In the 60s and the 70s, this rare unchanging circumstance begins to shift. For example, in the 1976, chlamydia originally arrived in rising status in the United States. Chlamydia, mainly unsafe to women, is now the greatest share infection, STD, in the nation. In 1981, the human untouched unwanted illness, HIV, the infection which triggered AIDS, was known. At the beginning of 1993, involving 1 and 2 million America was contaminated with HIV and AIDS. Over 12 million was diseased worldwide, and more than 160,000 had died in the United States by itself. Afterward, herpes was extra to the mixture. This STD now pollutes 30 million people and taken in consideration. Regardless of being almost stuck to the internet, a lot of individuals out there still have questions about STD and STI, even though sex education is normally talked about in health courses. Many people are still puzzled about the two, what caused them, and how to stop them. Following are 6 easiest details to record about these sexual transmitted sickness and what you can do to help prevent them. 1. What are they? 2. What is HIV, STD, and STI? 3. How do you know if you are infected? 4. Common symptoms. 5. Other symptoms. 6. To preventions. Let's look at some of the ones that we've been talking about. Chlamydia is an infection where merely grow frequently in the mid-1980s, contaminated 20 to 40 or unnamed sexual activity groups involving teenagers. In male, chlamydia can cause infertile sperms, a disorder charged with antibiotics. In female, likewise, the sickness is damaging. A severe chlamydia illness in female will end in discomfort, infection, and cause injury to women's tissues. A still sickness can harm female fallopian tubes without her even ever being aware of it. An incident of chlamydia PID can cause a 25% risk of sterility. Likewise, another sickness, the risk sterility goes up 50%. This can increase the damage of gonorrhea. Syphilis is an extra illness. In this early step, the sickness pollute people may be reassured into accepting there is not much injury. Meanwhile, the little soul will vanish in 2 to 8 weeks. The second and third step are increasingly poor and can finally proceed in brain, heart, and blood vessel injury if not identified and cured. The unhappiness part is that syphilis is a 100% treatable with penicillin. However, this is now more there is now more syphilis than in the late 1940s, and it is scattering fast. Medication with antibiotics is now at all-time productive. One survey stated that 18% proves a reappearance of illness within 3 weeks. As much as 14% of teenagers do not reply to medication and evidently needed a sterilization. It is irresistible. It's a load for an 18 or 19-year-old girl to have to accept the truth that she will never be able to or capable of carrying one baby. In addition of sequence, there is an individual resistant infection or HIV, the illness that reaches AIDS. The first real case of AIDS was just exposed in the 1998. Now in the United States by itself, there are between 1 and 2 million contaminated with the sickness. When distant as we know, all of these people will pass away in 10 to 15 years. Since the first of 1993, around 16,000 has now died. In the 1991, a non-accident research at the University of Texas in Austin explained that 1 in 100 students who had blood taken for any case at the school health centers was HIV infected. However, the growth of the illness is gradual. For a lot of people, everyone who has it will be diseased for the remainder of their life. There is no treatment. A lot of scholars are starting to lose hope, never arrive with a therapy or shot as was finally done with polio. In 1992, 1 out of 75 males was diseased with HIV, and 1 out of 700 females. Nevertheless, the amount of females with AIDS is rising. In the earlier years of the widespread, less than 2% of the AIDS cases was women's. Currently, the percentage is 12%. In the meanwhile, in in the meanwhile, in the meanwhile, 1966, Ripple Rock and Roll has been aggressively sharing its thoughts about condom, evaluation, and safe sex teaching to the people, as well as health instructors, hospitals, and others that is alike. It is their belief or idea that through protected sex teaching and the encouragement of sexual trustworthy conduct next to the right use of condom, we can assist decrease the increase of HIV and AIDS and additional sexual transmission virus. STD elimination is one of the highest jobs. Safe sex, wear condom. Make sure you use condom the right way. We do not know how many people that has been infected about unsafe sex from adults, young adults, and even teenagers in today's society. Looking at some of these diseases that come from unwanted sex, unsafe sex, started with HIV and AIDS and other types of STDs that have caused death and sickness. By using condoms will help cut diseases and illness for most of them having unsafe sex. This is a lesson in that having unsafe sex will cause your life. But in my opinion, I think no sex without marriage, without a commitment. And then you and your partner shall be tested to make sure neither of you have any kind of disease in order, before you enter into a relationship or a marriage relationship. You should check and make sure that you are clean and healthy. And this is my opinion of safe sex. No sex without commitment and a marriage.